Hi, I'm Emily Tellwright from Castle Sefton Press, and today I'm talking a bit about myself. I am an author and artist and publisher here at Castle Sefton Press. I run the business, publish the books, run the web store, do all the marketing and publicity, as you can see, and produce a lot of the artwork as well. I live here in Stoke-on-Trent in England in the UK, which is also where I was born, although I haven't always lived here. I studied maths at university, and after that later on I studied science and society and technology, which is the study of the development of science and technology in Europe. And I also studied cello at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama. So how did I end up being an author and artist? Well, I've always done art. I've studied art in many classes and courses over the course of my life. I've been doing it all my life. My mother was a very talented artist and she bought me materials from a very young age. So I've always done art and mixed in a whole range of media. And you can read a bit more about my artist story on my website, emilytellwright.co.uk. And I've always wanted to be an author. I've always liked the fact that as a person with wide interests and, if you like, a finger in a lot of pies, that you could, through writing fiction, you can bring all those elements together. You can put in anything you like and you can live out all those aspects of your life that maybe you haven't really had chance to do. Because that's something else. I've also suffered from undiagnosed health problems for a lot of my life, which has restricted me from doing many things, writing included, for a long time. I'll make another video about that. So that's how I came to be where I am now. Writing wise, I write literary fiction. It's still readable, entertaining, quite plot driven, despite the fact that there are deeper ideas and characters in there. In terms of literary style, I very much admire the writing style of the earlier 20th century, but I like to write about contemporary themes and settings in a style maybe that's similar to that. I also think that the most fiction books that are out today, the style of writing is quite similar. There's nothing wrong with the style. It's not particularly for me. I don't particularly enjoy reading it or writing in it. But I don't think there's a big enough variety of literary styles going around today in mainstream publishing. And I'm sure there are people out there like me who would like to read about contemporary events, contemporary themes, contemporary stories in a different kind of writing style. So that's what I do. I also love mystery. I love time mysteries, particularly time slip and time travel and ghostly reappearances over time, those kind of themes. I also like history as well as a theme, history that we've misunderstood, forgotten, misremembered. Things are not what they seem. Those are the kind of things I like writing about. I can't write without humour, really. Humour seems essential to me in life. I don't know how we can get through without it. And so there's always humour in my work, even if it's quite a serious work. And characters, I think, characters and the human condition and all the variations of that, all the little quirks that people have that are amusing and entertaining both to themselves and others. I think that's a wonderful thing about our existence. So I like to celebrate that with lots of quirky, entertaining characters who are kind of exploring that existence, that those aspects of themselves, and maybe a bit of character development. So yeah, characters, mysteries, time, a literary style from the early 20th century. Those are, I would say, the key things that I'm interested in. I also set my first book, Ghost Train, in a fantasy version of the Potteries, Stoke-on-Trent here in the Midlands. I didn't really want to write about the real place, but there's some bits of it that I wanted to take. It has a very particular character. It's an former industrial city. Well, at least it's sized like a city. It's officially a city. Living here, it's nothing like a city. There's no city centre. Just a lot of small towns that have kind of merged together and are still arguing about who's the biggest and the most important after about 100 years. Our neighbour who was born in another country, and she said to me she loves it here because it's just like living in the rural village in the Middle East that she grew up in. It's very much a small town, villagey place full of quirky characters, and there's a lot of artists and creatives here. It's also very poor and tatty. So there's lots of stimulating ideas in that as well, and that's another thing that interests me to write about. It's a location that's not fashionable, that people don't talk about much. It's a way of life that in our very London-centred country that is not really thought to be interesting or important, and yet lots of us live here and have really interesting and productive lives. And it has a rich history too. So these are all things that have gone into the mix of my books. In artwork, at the moment, I'm doing quite a lot of charcoal drawing and acrylic painting. I'm hoping to break out into some pen and ink sketches. I've done pastel work recently as well. Mostly I paint from or draw from life. That's what I'm good at. And I've done another video about the creative process, about how that happens, the mix of analytical thinking and intuition that goes into creating art from life, and how it actually involves a lot more consideration of the real things in front of you than maybe modern digital photography does. So yeah, that's probably what I do best, although I also love abstract art, and I will be bringing out an abstract series of prints and products very soon, probably in February this year. So I'm quite excited about that. I love old films. And because I like drawing in charcoal and chalk, they are great for doing movie stars and scenes. I'm working on a Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers series at the moment that you'll be seeing very soon. So that's all about me, really, and what I'm up to. And so if you're interested, please follow or like. Please have a look at the website, have a look at our work. There's two websites. There's one individually about me, emilytellwright.co.uk, and there's Castle Sefton Press, where you can see both our work, our books, our artwork, and have a browse, maybe even buy something. And I'll see you here again very soon.